So this is going to be a mini course series where I will show you everything, how I made this scene with the help of Blender and all the other tools. So for the main software, I'm using Blender for rendering and everything. This is the viewport, and you can see there I have this character, and this is actually a MetaHuman. I just export the MetaHuman in Blender. I will show you how to use the MetaHuman in the next video, how to export that thing properly with all the important textures and everything, because the MetaHuman has that DCC export system, but it doesn't work like natively in Blender because the file was in the .dna format, and there is no option in Blender to import the .dna file. You can see there is no DNA folder things. So I found a way that you can export the MetaHuman with all the texture properly without needing any kind of add-on or anything like that. I will show you the things later, how to export that thing, but for this video I will show you how I made everything. So the scene is very simple. You can see there is some sort of background mountains, and we have a foreground, the ground layer, and then we have the character with cool looking hairs and everything. So the problem is with the MetaHumans, you cannot export the hairs, so you have to remake the hairs, but I will show you how to make that thing also. But for this one, I will show you how to make the mountains and ground properly so that we are getting the foundation right. So first of all, I will just hide the character for now. Okay, so this is the mountain. Hopefully you can see. So this is very simple mountains that I used in this one. And how to create this? It's pretty simple. You just have to go to the preferences, go to add-on and search for ant. There is something called ant landscape thing. You just have to enable this. Then if you go to the object, if you press Shift A, then if you go to the mesh, you will get a landscape option. I will just go and create a new thing. I will show you here. So just click on the landscape and you will see something like this. So by default you will see a mountain. I will just remove this. I will go again, landscape, and when you click on this one you will see so many options in the left side. If you go to the operation preset, you will get so many different type of variation, what type of mountain you need. So you can just go and select whatever type of mountain you need. So you can see this is some sort of crystal thing. Then we have the lake one also, I think so. Why this is so laggy? Okay, so this is the lake one. Then we have the rock. So mountains are these things, the lake, the large terrain, mountains, one mountain to this one. Yeah, you can see there. You can also change the parameter of these things. You can increase the subdivisions there, and you can change the offsets also. It will change the X and Y direction. You can increase the size. It's very laggy right now, I don't know why. I think you have to reduce the resolution. I'll make this thing 50. I think it will be good. You just have to do some hit and trial and you will get your desirable mountain thing. So with that add-on, I just create this different type of mountains, and then I just simply put everything into my main scene like this. So instead of duplicating like Shift D, you have to make sure that you press Alt D. So if you see the vertices count in the corner left side, so if I just go to my main mesh, where is that? Yeah, this one. So for example, I have this main mesh. This is 45,000 triangles, and if I just Shift D, then it will duplicate the geometry. The problem with this one, it will increase your overall geometry. So you can see 91,000. So this is not good because it will eventually, you will have so many geometry that it will be very hard to render. So what you have to do, you have to press Alt D. Now you can see it shows 0. So it's kind of an instance thing. And now if I select both of them, it will just show 45,000. So like this, you can kind of load hell lot of geometry without having any kind of issues. So similarly, the same method, I'm just instancing everything Alt D, not Shift D, and that's the kind of a trick that you can use when you have a low-end graphic card or low-end PC. Like this, you can create very large looking environment without having that much issues. So this is the simple thing. I will just go to the character. Okay, disable. So I just place the rocks, not rocks, the mountain like this. Then we have the ground one. So basically the ground one is very simple. I just use a plane there, you can see, and you will see some sort of sculpting. It's very weird thing. It's not too much. I just go to the sculpt mode and just do some random up and down thing. You don't have to do this. This is not necessary, but for the short thing, I just need some bump and this type of variation, that's why I'm doing that, but you don't have to do this. But the texturing one, if I go to the textures, you can see we are getting all the rock details, the curvature and everything, but in the render view we are not getting anything. It's kind of a complete plain thing. So what you have to do, you have to use the method called displacement method. In the Blender, when you export any kind of texture, so this is my land texture. I'm using two materials. First one is the rock one and second one is extra displacement. You can just use one texture also, it is not necessary to use another one. So if I go inside this one, I'm just using a rock texture from this Blender Kit add-on. If you go to Blender Kit, you will get so many rock textures. You just have to search for rocks and hopefully you will get so many free ones that you can use. So just download one thing and make sure that you connect your displacement to your main displacement one. Then you just have to go select your plane. Then you have to go to your this material property, and in the material property you have to enable this displacement and bump option. This is the most important one because by default it will be in the bump only. If I show you the bump only, you can see this is complete flat. There is no detail in the, if I go to the displacement and bump, you will see all the details. So that's the trick you have to use in order to get this type of high detail noise thing. Not noise, but the displacement thing. And the another one is when you use this thing, you need a hell lot of subdivision. But right now you can see I'm just using one subdivision level and one render subdivision, but still I'm getting a lot of details. The reason is I'm using a thing called adaptive subdivision. You will not gonna get this option by default if you're using Blender 4.5 or the before versions of Blender. In Blender 5.0 it was officially there, you don't have to do anything, but in Blender 4.5, 4.0, 4.2 and all the previous versions of Blender, you have to enable this option. So in order to enable this, you have to just go to your render setting, and in this one you will get a feature set option. You just have to enable experimental, and then in your subdivision you will get this option. You have to just enable this and you're done. So after that, when you enable this thing, you will not gonna see the results because you have to enable one more settings. You just have to go to the render properties, and in this one if you scroll down you will see an option of subdivision. You have to select your camera there. So I'm just selecting my camera, and you will get this option, the dicing rate and the viewport. So basically the dicing rate means I will just show you how it works. I don't know if it is visible that much or not, but you can see in this area especially we have more subdivision. It is kind of a darker in this area. If I increase this thing to 5, you will see this is not subdividing it that much. Maybe I can show you in the Eevee. Okay, I think it was not supported by the Eevee engine. So you have to use cycles in order to make this work. In this area, just watch. Okay, this is not working. In this area, you can see there is a lot of subdivision and you will see a lot of cracks. But in the outer area, in this areas everywhere, this thing, you will not gonna see any detail. And if I increase the where is the option? If I increase the if I reduce the viewport 1, if I press 1, you will get more detail in this center portion compared to the outer one. You can see we are getting small details. If I zoom in, you can see there you will get so many small details like this black thing, but in the outer one you will not gonna see. For the viewport I'm using 4, so that I can move my viewport very smoothly, and for the final render you can decrease this thing to 1 so that you are getting the absolute detail thing. So basically that's the settings, and in the max subdivisions you can increase it to 32 if you want. I will just recommend you to leave it to 16. Then there is the off-screen scale. If you increase this one, I don't know if it is visible that much or not, but you have to watch it carefully. So just watch this thing, this line. So right now the subdivision is happening from this area. If I increase this, it will go further away. You can see this is increasing the distance between the line and everything. If I decrease this to 1, it will reduce the distance. You can see this is coming backwards. So you can leave this thing to default. You don't have to change anything. You will get a proper thing from your camera view. So like this, you are getting the more detail in the front area in your near the camera, and the further away it will go from the camera, the lesser detail you will have. And like this, you are kind of optimizing your geometry so much that you are getting the best of the both things. You're getting the detail also, and you're getting the performance also. And if I just turn off the adaptive subdivision, you will see we will lose all the details, and we have to increase the level of viewport details so much, like in 6 or something like that. Then also we are not getting that much amount of details, so this is in the 6. So basically that's the advantage of adaptive subdivisions. You will get so much details. So yeah, I think this is the background thing that I did for this animation, and in the next video I will show you how to do the character export from MetaHuman to Blender without having any kind of plugin or anything like that. I found a very simple method. You just have to, it's kind of a one-click method, I think I would say. Not one click, maybe 2-3 clicks method, and that's it. You will get all your textures, your animation and everything in Blender without having any kind of issues. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I think this will help you. Thank you for watching.